Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Hilaal Live on channel 347 on DSTV. You can also tune in to us, www.hilaal.tv. On a Wednesday, we invite Advocate Yusuf Dalwai back in studio to chat about what's going on in our communities. Brother Yusuf, Jazakallah so much for coming in again.
Shukran, Brother Luqman, and Assalamu alaikum to you and your viewers as well.
Wa alaikum salam. Today, viewers, we're chatting about the AARTO Act, which is the Administrative Adjudication of Road Traffic Offences, the AARTO Act. So not much time left. Unfortunately, we have another broadcast to go to. Tell us about the AARTO Act very quickly.
Okay,
unpack that for us.
Yes, let me just quickly unpack it for you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, in certain circumstances, especially to those who's unaware of this act. So in 2019, the Department of Transport submitted a bill to amend the AARTO Act, that is the Administrative Adjudication of Road Traffic Offences, to include certain additional systems to regulate the road traffic offences.
Sure.
So in 2019, the bill was approved and it was adopted. There was a civil action group that decided to challenge that amendment. And they went to the Pretoria High Court and they made certain submissions, and it was then found in their favor. The court then granted an order that amendment is invalid and unconstitutional. However, it then went to the Constitutional Court, and the Constitutional Court then found that the amendment to the AARTO Act was indeed valid and is constitutional. So the main submissions that the Civil Action Group has made, I'm just going to focus on the one, and that is that each province and municipality has the ability to govern on their own and develop their own laws within the province and municipality, as enshrined in the Constitution. This amendment bill, or this amendment act, is national, and they challenge it to declare it invalid and unconstitutional, because a province need to be exclusive in that respect. However, the Constitutional Court found that it is not invalid and it is constitutional. So that was on the 12th of July, a few days ago. So the act is in place. It's going to roll out within the next 12 months. I think by July next year, it will be in full enforce. And yes, we need to now discuss what it's going to entail.
Absolutely. So the regulations obviously make provisions to decriminalize traffic offences. When we say decriminalize, what does this mean to the layman?
Yes,
in layman's terms,
especially to our motorists.
Absolutely.
Yes. So one of the main amendments is decriminalizing traffic fines. So currently, or before the act came into play, our court system was basically presiding over traffic fines. And traffic fines also, in circumstances, you are able to get a criminal record, and the National Prosecuting Agency is also part of that. However, they've decriminalized it to such an extent where they are now, where certain traffic offences are called infringements. It's now an infringement and not an offence. However, the courts may still preside over certain traffic offences, for example, driving under the influence, reckless and negligent driving, those type of...
And the consequences that they come with.
Which is protected under the Criminal Procedure Act. So with driving with your mobile phone, speeding, parking and those things, those are now called infringements.
All right. Now, recently there was a Constitutional Court judgment regarding the AARTO Act. How will that affect the regulations?
So, because the judgment was in the Constitutional Court, an order was granted that it was valid and constitutional. It now comes into play, and certain provinces, for example, Gauteng and Pretoria, Johannesburg and Pretoria, they were already operating with it, and this is called the demerit system.
Right. There was, yeah, it was supposed to come to the Cape, not yet.
Not yet.
But tell us about that as well.
It was supposed to come to the Cape in 2021.
Correct, yeah.
But because the Civil Action Group took this to court in Pretoria, and that is why there was a delay. Now it's all fine. It's all been declared valid and constitutional, and it's going to roll out, like I said, in the next 12 months. So it's quite scary for motorists because it's a big adjustment, and we will need to adapt to a new system, to a new type of infringement legal system, insofar as our driving is concerned.
They found another way to get to us.
Another way, indeed.
Okay, so the demerit system works where it's on a point system.
That's correct.
And certain infringements that you incur, you then lose points on your license.
So you don't lose points, so you gain points.
Oh, sorry, you gain points in order to...
So if there's an infringement, you'll get I'll speak about the process, but just how the demerit system work and what it means to our motorists is that there's a threshold of 15 demerit points, starting at 0.
Right.
Okay, so I'm not going to go into the different infringements and how many demerit points you accumulate. We can do that on another show, perhaps. Or the Department of Transport will have workshops and awareness programs regarding that. So if, for example, you are caught speeding, just for argument's sake, you receive 1 demerit point. Right? And if you are caught without a seatbelt, let's say 2. And if you are caught with a mobile phone in your hand whilst driving, let's say 3. So now you've accumulated 3, 4, 5, 6 points just for 3 infringements, maybe over a 2-month period or something to that effect. Once you've accumulated 15 infringements or 15 demerit points, that is where the tricky part comes in. And that is when your license either gets suspended or cancelled.
And how long do you know
I'm referring to the driver's license.
Right. And how long
will
that
if it's suspension, we will have to still look into investigate and hear what the directive is in respect of that. But in most times you will have to reapply for a driver's license.
Sure.
So
we're going to have far less minibus taxis on the road. That's what I can say.
Well,
quite a bit of infringements, and we all know the menace on the road, and unfortunately, I just hope that it's across the board, whether it's business or private, that these laws are quite leveled.
Yes, it's quite leveled, business and private. So especially business people and companies, it's going to be very tedious and administratively. Quite a lot of work involved where that is concerned. So yes, we're in for a
rough time. So what does the AARTO Act mean for our motorists in layman's terms? Okay,
so the AARTO Act means that the infringements or the traffic fines that you are getting, there will be a total different process of administration and adjudication, insofar as your offences are concerned. Right? So your offences, it's now called infringements. Once you've received an infringement, there is a certain process which you need to comply with. Therefore, it is important that you notify your traffic department of your correct address, because this is where the tricky part comes in. If you have an incorrect or an old address registered with the traffic department when you're making your applications for your driver's license or your vehicle registration license, it's going to be a problem if it's the incorrect address. Because once you've received an infringement or you've violated the traffic rules, you will receive an infringement notice. The notice, you will have 32 days from the date the notice was served on you to pay 50% of that fine. Alternatively, you can write representations to the road traffic infringement agency as to why you should not be fined, or you need to nominate an alternate driver For example, if you were a company and it was your driver or an alternative driver that was driving your vehicle at that time, to inform them that it's not you and you're not liable for that infringement.
So it's the driver that's going to be in trouble, not so much the vehicle, because especially when it comes to business.
Yes, that's correct, yes.
Okay.
So that is the 32-day, and you'll get your penalty, your demerits, right? So you're paying 50% and a demerit. If you ignore the first 32 days, you'll get a courtesy letter, and this time they're not offering you a 50% discount.
Right.
You pay the full amount plus a penalty, plus you get a demerit. You will then have another opportunity to do representations to inform why you are not liable for the fine.
Sure.
Okay. 32 days goes by, there's one more, the enforceable period.
Right.
You'll get another notice, the 32-day notice, and that time you'll have an opportunity once more time to write submissions. Okay, thereafter it's become enforceable.
Sure.
Your license will be cancelled or suspended, and the demerits will definitely be lodged on your license, and you won't be able to renew, and you won't be able to draw your license and registration for your vehicle.
Right, that's going to be tough times ahead. Thanks for letting us know, because now we're aware and we can make provision on how we drive and where we drive, and not to infringe on any of our rules, traffic rules. Yusuf, Jazakallah so much. We look forward to next week's edition, and have a great evening. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
That's how we end our legal hour with Advocate Yusuf Khan Dalwai. We are ending our broadcast for Hilaal Live. We crossed our Muharram program in Durban. We wish all our viewers a Muharram Mubarak, and we wish that you will join us tomorrow, inshallah, same time, 5 o'clock, from our Cape Town studios. On technical duty, Sohail Barnes, myself, Luqman Shadrack. Have a wonderful evening. Assalamu alaikum.